guys, welcome back to another video. Today's video, as you can see from what position I'm in, it's a ranty video. I love these. So today I'm going to give a review on Morbius. It's not going to be, like every single detail of the movie. I'm not an expert in movies. I'm just going to give my thoughts on the movie, and you can comment down below what you thought of it, if you've seen it. If you haven't, don't watch this yet, because you'll be confused. So, my overall thoughts on the movie is it was good. Was it perfect? No. But I still liked it. I've seen a lot of critic reviews and reviews in general saying it was a bad movie, and I don't think that's the case. Now, if it comes to a superhero movie or a Marvel comic book style movie, then you might be disappointed. But if you're into vampires, you're gonna love it. Now, one of the biggest issues the movie had is timing. The beginning was thought out really well. Like, I like how they introduced the movie with like a backstory sort of thing where he's trying to cure his disease, and then eventually, he becomes Morbius the living vampire. But once it starts getting closer and closer to the climax of the movie, everything just like picks up. And if they added an extra like 10-15 minutes to the movie, that would have fixed their issue. Now, it's not that big of a problem, like, it's not going to deter me from watching this movie again, which I totally will be. But it is an issue near the end where everything's just happening so dang fast. And one thing I would have loved to see that they didn't have in the movie is the bad guy, Milo, who's played by the 11th Doctor, which is awesome, by the way. I wish he had more time to, like, grow as a character. Like, of course, we see him as a child and as an adult in the beginning when they're friends. But as a vampire, like, near the end when he's planning to do all this evil stuff, I wish they had more scenes with him, more, like, fighting against himself, more scenes between him and Morbius. Like, overall, I just wish the movie was, like, 20-ish minutes longer, where they could add more stuff to it to lengthen it out. My other issue is the bite scene in the movie where Milo kidnaps Martine, basically kills her, like hurts her dramatically, and Morbius bites her, gives her blood, and turns her into a vampire. Now, I thought it was pretty great. It went by way too quickly, though, which is an issue this movie has with pacing. When it comes to a scene like that for vampire movies, because I am a vampire fan, I like it to be drawn out and emotional and be like, I don't wanna. You must. I can't. You're very angsty. That's the type I like. Now, of course, not everyone's into that, and not every movie has to have an angsty scene like that, but part of me was like, I kind of wish they did. Just saying. But, it wasn't bad. It did go by a little too quickly for my taste, but I still liked it. One thing I did have an issue with is that, Morbius leaves Martine, gets a call from Nicholas that he's dying, he got attacked. So he goes there, and that scene was fine. But then Martine instantly gets kidnapped after that, and I feel like there should have been like a scene in between, maybe after Morbius goes out on the streets trying to find him, can't, or whatever, then goes back to the lab to find out that Martine is gone. Maybe there's a mess, and he's like, oh no. And that's when he finds out that Milo has taken her. And instead of instantly hurting her so that, Morbius comes to the rescue, maybe just keeps her, alive, but fine, until Morbius gets there and then something happens. If they just lengthened out, especially near the end scenes, that would have been great. But there were also scenes that I just completely enjoyed that I thought were art. Like the scene where Matt Smith is, like, checking himself out in the mirror, like, oh yeah, I'm hot. That scene's pure gold. It's beautiful. I love it so much. He's just like, yeah. I love that. I also love the one of the beginning scenes where Morbius becomes the vampire and he attacks everyone on the ship, but he still has some, like, good in him, because when he sees that Martine's hurt, like, he gets angry and protecting her, but he doesn't hurt her. So, like, yes, he's a vampire now, the living vampire, but he's not completely a monster, which I thought was pretty cool. Just saying. I'm a person who likes a vampire who fights against their nature, sort of thing. Like, I don't want to hurt people, and there was a lot of that throughout the movie, like Bloodlust, where he would get hungry and be like, you know, half transform, which I thought was cool. Like when Martine cuts her finger and he like freaks out for a second. That's my cup of tea. This is how I roll. I like a vampire who's angsty, who fights against their nature and tries not to hurt people, but fights their bloodlust. Like, it's a constant battle. And there's just angst, a lot of angst. I don't know why, I just do. But they fall in love with a human and they know it can't be. But they crave their blood so badly, and it's like, oh my god. You know, that's my sort of thing. So they had elements of that in there. And I love that they made jokes about your stereotypical vampires like Dracula and like a stake to the heart. But Morbius isn't like your average vampire. He was created scientifically. So he still has a beating heart. He can still breathe. I don't know if he ages or not. He might. He does have like stronger strength, and he can, you know, run really fast. Like, he moves so fast that he looks like a blur, but he's not like transforming into anything. He doesn't transform into a bat. His face morphs, but other than that, like, he doesn't like transform into like animals and stuff. And he can fly, and he can like connect with bats. He's more bat-like than your average Edward Cullen vampire, because he can do the sonar thing, which is pretty fucking cool, by the way. He like just feels connected to bats, which I like. And he does drink blood, but you know, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I thought the visual effects, some of them were, you could clearly tell were animated. Obviously, you can't do a movie like this without having a lot of visual effects. I feel like they could have been more, I don't know, higher end, because some of the moments, like, it's clearly obvious that it's fake. Now, of course, you can't make something exactly perfect, so it's not that big a deal. But some of the scenes, I was like, yeah, they could have added a little jazz, you know, pizzazz to this. But overall, I give this movie like a 7 out of 10, with the pacing issues and a few other moments here and there. I'm like, they could have lengthened, they could have done this or that. But it's a good movie. Like, if you're a vampire fan, you're probably going to like it. Even if it's not your favorite vampire movie of all time, you're going to find things that you like about it. They make jokes about the vampire genre, but it's still really good, in my opinion. Now, of course, you might think the movie sucks ass, and that's totally fine. If you thought it was horrible, comment down below and let me know. If you thought it was really good, comment down below. I'd love to know. I am a Marvel, DC superhero fan. I'm also a vampire fan. I love both of them. But I've been a vampire fan a lot longer than I have been a superhero fan. And I'm not a superhero fan to the core. I don't read comic books. I don't go into the lore of everything. I just really love the movies and TV shows. Vampires, however, I am obsessed. TV shows, movies, music videos, facts, whatever else. I call myself a proclaimed vampire expert, and I'm not, but I know way too much. So I went into this being a superhero fan and a vampire fan. Coming out of it, as a vampire fan, I was ecstatic. I had a great time. As a superhero fan, it was good, but, you know, there were things that it lacked. And that's okay, not everything is perfect. A lot of people were hating on this movie. It took 2 years. I was excited about this back in the, like, May of 2020, because I think it was supposed to come out in June of 2020. And then it got pushed back and pushed back for 2 whole years. 2 whole years. And I was like, God damn it. I thought it was never going to come out. And when it finally did, I was so goddamn excited. Now, it didn't live up to my highest expectations. Like, it's going to be the best movie ever. It's not the best movie ever, but it's still good. You got to look at it, and even if it's not the most cinematic or beautiful piece of art you've ever seen, there's still things to love about it, and it's a fun watch. So I'd highly suggest it. If you have not seen Morbius, you probably shouldn't have watched this video, but if you haven't seen Morbius, I highly suggest watching it because it's very good. I hope you guys enjoyed this rant-style video. I've seen a lot of, like, Morbius reviews on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, so I thought I'd give my thoughts on it since I am a vampire fan, and I hope you enjoyed. Comment down below what you thought of the movie, and I will see you on Thursday with another True Crime Thursday, and Monday with whatever I decide to post. Alright guys, I'll see you later. Whew.